everyone, Jalen Campbell here with Kareem Rae of onesoccernation. Today we have our guest, Mohamed Coulibaly, with us today. Mo, how's it going?
Doing great, bro. Can't complain, Just living a life of a footballer and an entrepreneur. How you guys doing?
We're good.
Good, bro. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah. So, Mo, give us a brief background of yourself.
Yeah, so with me, I kind of started to get into the world of football at the age of 5. I grew up around a lot of pro footballers. I had an uncle that played for Barcelona, Seydou Keita. So it's kind of like football was always in my family. So, and then, my family located from Mali, West Africa to France, where I was born. And then, just raised over there in the academy system playing. And, then we came to the US at a pretty young age. And I just, lost a love for the sport. And I took a major break. I took probably a 4 to 5 year break, which kind of set me back in my career, while other kids are developing, I'm taking that break, Coming into high school, I've always had the IQ for the game because when I was younger, that's all we did. Everyone in my family, we played soccer hours, so it's kind of like coming into high school, I was kind of, I want to start back up. So high school, started playing clubs, started playing for my high school team, just took off from there. And, coming into senior year of high school, I kind of wanted to separate myself from everyone else, where I decided to start a business. I started a sneaker company, which is doing pretty good nowadays. 3 years later, it's doing pretty well.
And you said pretty good. That's humble. That's humbly pretty good.
We're doing our thing. 3 years later, and football career is going well. I built a lot of connections in the football world where my talents have been seen by a lot of people, and those connections have been able to groom me as a player as well. So without those connections, I probably wouldn't have made it this far in the football journey as well, because I started pretty late. I wasn't in the U.S. development system at all. So just me training on my own, training with different clubs, going on trials and stuff like that, and people taking a chance on me just because of the person that I am, and them believing in me as a person, and then them seeing my skills on the field. They were just like, hey, like, it's a win-win with this kid. So that's it. And now, over the summer, I trialed in France with Stade de Reims, and then, made a lot of connections over there. And, come back to the States, I got an invitation from Red Bulls to attend their preseason with the first team, where I played with the first team a couple weeks. And then they put me on the second team, where I spent the rest of the preseason with them.
Congrats, bro.
Yeah.
Yo, he said humbly. He said pretty good, bro. Wait, I don't know if you've seen this, JC, but I'm gonna mention it. And I'm gonna put it on the records. Mohamed, how do I pronounce your last name? Coulibaly, a young entrepreneur, built a $1.2 million sneaker business while pursuing a professional soccer career. So we gotta mention that real quick. So
love, bro, love.
How'd you tap into the entrepreneurship, right? Where does that come from? Your family or?
Yeah, that comes from my family. Growing up, I had a family that dabbled into a lot of things, which kind of like installed that mindset in me, where I always go into something thinking, as long as I learn the basics, I can grow. So being an entrepreneur, it took a lot of research, coming into, and also I've always been that type of person that I've always been curious, So I feel like once you're a curious person, there's nothing, you're honestly unstoppable when it comes to anything, any career path, because your curiosity actually helps you want to learn more and grow every single day. So me going into my entrepreneurship, I've kind of spent the first couple of years just researching, and I kind of started thinking where I wanted to be. I was always a sneaker guy, but I just didn't have the funds personally to buy my own shoes. And my parents never believed in, fashion. They didn't care for it. So it's kind of like they didn't go buy me the new releases. I had to save up, me and my parents would make agreements where it's kind of like, hey, if you get a 4.0 GPA, you get 2 pairs of shoes. If you score a hat trick, you get 1 pair of shoes, just stuff like that. So that grew my love for the sneaker world. And, growing up, I ended up getting my own job, saved up. And at that point, reselling was kind of getting bigger. So, I had a little bit of money. I decided to buy a couple of shoes, sold it to my friends, made probably $20, $50 over top of the money that I originally had. So I was like, you know what? this is pretty good. I'm getting paid $8 an hour. If I sell a shoe and make $50, that's basically a full day of work, 2 full days of work actually. So I just decided to keep going with that and, added up, quitting my job, and just the rest of history. Yeah.
So jumping into the questions now. How'd you get into post-secondary?
Sorry, repeat that.
How'd you get into post-secondary school? Because for them like those guys that don't know, I know you personally, right?
Yeah.
We both go to Temple together. So how was your journey to get there?
Yeah, my journey for Temple, coming out of high school, I wasn't highly recruited for soccer, but I had a great SAT score in the US. We take SATs, we take ACTs, and et cetera, to get into college. I had a great score, I scored into the 10th percentile or something like that, which is supposed to be major, but freshman year of college, it literally diminished that. It didn't even matter anymore. But yeah, so I scored pretty high on my standardized testing. And also I had a couple of Division II offers for soccer and stuff like that. And I had a couple of Division D1 offers too. But personally, being from Philly, I just knew I wanted to stay in the city. So Temple was one of those options where Temple offered me a full ride academic scholarship. And it was kind of like, hey, you have to take this. I have my brother went to Temple, my cousins went to Temple. So it's kind of like my mom used to work around Temple. So Temple was very familiar setting to me. Even in high school, after school, I'll come over here, visit some friends. So I'll be around the campus a lot. So after getting that full academic scholarship, it was kind of like, hey, now, do you want to play soccer for Temple? So I had to ask myself that question. And personally, coming out of high school, I wouldn't say I was the best player. So I feel like taking those breaks where, I didn't pursue college soccer, actually pursue personal growth as a soccer player, help where I am where my soccer career is right now. So definitely, coming into Temple was kind of like, I had to make a selfish decision where I wanted to, it was a decision that hurt because, I love the game and I wanted to play. You don't want to go to a school where you're just like, everyone knows you play soccer, all your friends, in high school, they're just like, hey, like you're going D1, and then you come into the school and you don't end up playing for the team. So it's kind of like one of those things where it hurt, but at the same time, becoming close with a lot of you guys personally, like basically gave me that experience of a D1 athlete and gave me the ability to train with some of you guys, lift, etc., and grow as a player too. So yeah.
Wait, so this is off topic. It's on my mind, but what passports do you hold?
I hold a French passport, US, and a Malian passport.
Holy shit. This guy has US too, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was on my mind.
So like, tell me about what things changed once you got to college.
Honestly, my mentality, growing up in Philly, a lot of cats from Philly, if you ask them, we're closed off. I feel like coming into college, I've always been a friendly person. I'm always outgoing. I would speak to someone first, and after the first conversation, we always click. So it's kind of like growing up in Philly. You're closed off to the world. A lot of us, we don't like approaching people first. We just stay into our own bubble. So I feel like coming into college, being around different people. High school. My high school was majority Black. We had Black. I grew up around Black people, so it's kind of like coming into a PWI. It took me out of that mentality where it's kind of like, hey, like this person is different from you, that person is different from you, but at the same time, you guys are human. You guys have that humane side in common where you guys can actually build something. They don't have to go through the hardship of you growing up in a poverty or like the hardships of police brutality and stuff like that to be able to, relate to your pain, to be able to relate to your upbringing and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, and also like college taught me empathy as a person. So I would say definitely my mindset changed from being, just seeing the world close off as like, hey, like this person is different. I don't really care. They can't explain to me or they can't feel the pain that I feel to, having a more of an empathetic mindset where it's kind of like, okay, like we can relate. I can relate to this person as a human, as a brother, as a son, just stuff like that, Yeah.
So like, I feel like you kind of covered this a little bit, but why did you choose Temple? Actually, you covered that already. We're gonna skip that question. How are you balancing being a student athlete, playing soccer, balancing your business, your school, like everything? How are you doing all that?
It's honestly, it's hard, it takes a lot of preparation. Like if you see my calendar, it's literally like everything broken down by hours. It's like boom, 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 boom. So I've always been the type of person, my dad is strict with time. Like if you make a plan, he wants you there. Like if he tells you to be there at 8:30, if you're not there by 8:20, it's a problem. So I've always been that person. Even with this meeting, I was here waiting like since like 8:15, so it's kind of like I can definitely thank my dad for installing that mindset into me. So I'm a very punctual person. So when it comes to meetings and stuff like that, I'm always on top of it. And the hardest part about being a student athlete playing in the business is classes. Because sometimes running a social media business, there comes a lot of time where you have to build that trust with your customers. So it's kind of like me in class. If I'm in class doing work, I can't reply to people's messages, So it's paying your money to someone through social media that you don't know personally automatically raise that anxiety in your head. So now if the person goes for like an hour, 2 hours, not messaging you after you send your payment, people automatically, start assuming, people start going crazy, So I feel like all of that has been hard, but me keeping track of my time, being able to be on time for everything over the last couple of years. And also I have an assistant that works with me on my business page as well. So that allowed me to take a step back and focus on my soccer career more.
So you're in school now with Temple, obviously, and then you're also with the Red Bulls, as you mentioned, right? So what plans or like aspirations do you have in the pro soccer world after you finish at Temple?
Honestly, I wanna take this time and actually develop as a player. It's always one of those things. Like I said earlier, I have an uncle that played for Barcelona. So at the end of the day, the end goal is always to go to Europe. Play in Europe. If it is La Liga, Premier League, Bundesliga, just I feel like that right there will actually, that's a goal that if I make it there, that tells me, hey, like you made it. Right now, being in a professional soccer system is all cool and all, but I don't feel like I've made it yet because I feel like I can get better. I see the potential in myself, even with my IQ of the game. I see things that I feel like a lot of people don't see because I've been around the game so long and I've been around like players that's played with the best, So it's kind of like with the soccer thing, I want to be at a level where I'm mentioned with the top players in the world, probably before the age of 23, I want to be one of the best youngsters in the soccer world for sure.
You'll get there, bro. Keep grinding, keep working hard, and you'll get there, man.
Bro, for sure.
Kareem, you want to jump in for the last few questions?
Yeah, I do want to jump in. Wait, I'm lost for words right now. Are you playing pro right now, bro?
Yeah, I am.
Jeez, why didn't you tell me that, bro? What the hell? Yo, my bad, bro. There's so much shit going on. I didn't even do proper due diligence, my G. Holy, bro, we're asking the wrong questions here. Wow, that's crazy. So you're playing right now in the USLC or one?
One.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's proper, man. That's proper. So what the hell are you gonna be doing in what is it, Philly?
Yeah. So it's kind of like whenever we're off and we don't have breaks and stuff, like whenever we're off and stuff like that, I just come to Philly, hang out with friends and stuff like that. Because it's kind of like being over there alone. Like I'm one of those people when I'm closed off with my friends and family, it shuts me down. Coming over there, seeing them, stuff like that. It like gives me that little energy boost to go back into training with a clear mentality and stuff like that. Preseason was pretty hard. So a lot of players got cut. And, there's a lot of stuff that goes on with the team after preseason where players get cut, some players get called back, players sign contracts, some get on an academy contract. But with me, with Red Bull right now, I'm actually finalizing my deal with Sacramento Republic. So I've been training, but I can't play any official matches because I'm in talks with another team.
Okay, got it. Got it. Apologies again. We're asking the wrong questions here. Did you pull the other questions?
Yeah.
Okay, proper. All right, I'm gonna come in here. So, wow, that's amazing, Mo. So, how long have you been playing pro for?
Their first year.
Wow. So
yeah,
you just signed this year.
Yeah, this first year I just finished preseason Red Bull and made it official.
It was recent, right? The
Yeah,
Sacramento.
recent. Yeah, Sacramento was recent too.
I
Sacramento
saw
was,
that you posted about it like 2 weeks ago, maybe.
yeah, Sacramento was 2 weeks
Yeah.
ago. Yeah, so
Oh, man, congratulations, man. This whole time I thought you were just in school.
yeah,
Well, you've been bouncing it all, bro.
So you're balancing being an entrepreneur, you're playing pro in the USO1, and you're in school.
yeah, bro, it's crazy. It's insane.
So wait, what are you studying though?
I'm a double major, business and kinesiology.
What's the point of the degree though?
Honestly, the degree is honestly for my parents. That's it. So it's kind of like I'm one of those people, you know, I give everything that I've, you know, earned to the way I was raised. You know, I feel like if I wasn't raised the way I was, I probably wouldn't be here right now where I am today, you know, because I feel like my parents installed a lot of grown, you know, attributes to me when I was a younger. You know, I had to grow up a lot faster than a lot of people, you know. So coming from parents, you know, foreign parents, you know, a lot of them, all they want is a degree. My parents don't really care about, you know, amount of articles that I have, you know, the pro thing, you know, especially my mom. She don't care. She's like, oh yeah, pro soccer, good for you. She don't care. She just wants a degree. You know, that's something that she wants. So I feel like as a son, you know, if that's all she's asked for, she don't ask for money. She don't ask for anything else. It's all she wants, a degree. Why not do the best that I can to get that to her? You know, that's like a gift. That's my personal gift to her. So, you know, gotta grind that out too.
Yeah, that's amazing. Amazing. Kudos to you, man. And congratulations on the new signing. Let's dive into that.
Yeah.
How did that come about, right? So you just recently signed. How did that come about?
Honestly, you know, it's kind of one of those things where, you know, going into preseason, I was with Stellar Group. So it's kind of, you know, they were connected to Red Bulls. You know, my agent played for Red Bulls a couple of years ago. So he's like, hey, you know, he's just off of a trial in France. We'll start the runs. You know, he's in form, you know, pretty young guy, right back. You know, I was a winger, you know, over in France. They switched me to a right back, which was kind of like, now I got to adjust to a whole new position. I gotta learn positioning. I gotta learn. I gotta learn my timing. You know, I've always been an attacking minded player. So coming into preseason Red Bull, you know, they're just like, hey, you know, we're gonna try you out at right back. You know, if we don't feel confident in you, you know, you play winger your whole life. You know, we'll bring you up in the wing position. So preseason went really well. Played really well. Started all of our preseason matches, except for one where I did pretty well. And you know, coming into contract talks, there was a lot of disagreement on contract talks and stuff like that when it came down to the number, how we're going about the thing, you know, positioning as a player, where, you know, I ended up I was getting reached out to a lot of agencies where, you know, a lot of agencies don't sign you until they lock in your first deal. So it's kind of like I still had the leeway of talking to other agencies and stuff like that, where, you know, agent from First Wave Sport presented me, hey, like Sacramento are looking to bring you in, you know, they need a right back. They're not pretty confident. There are two right backs right now. So they want to bring a young guy into the core that challenges them to actually, you know, play well, play better, you know, because now your position is on the line to someone younger than you, you know. So it's kind of like an ego thing that goes into play. So, you know, I felt like Sacramento was definitely a good thing. You know, I had a really good meeting with the coaching staff where they talked to me about their development system, you know, even with their pretty, you know, they're closed off to with LA Galaxy as well. So they're them telling me all of that stuff where they have a partnership with LA Galaxy where players can come from there and go to the LA Galaxy system where they can get first team minutes or second team minutes and stuff like that. So that kind of won me away. Even Red Bull is kind of like one of those things where they favor their academy kids, players that grew up in the system. So even throughout preseason, I've seen the patterns of a lot of the stuff that was going on. And, you know, personally, I just had to make the better decision for my career in the long run, you know.
Nice. I know your time is serious. Did you have an extra 5-10 minutes to stay on with us?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So you mentioned Stellar Group. That's a very prestigious agency that you're with right now, right?
No, I switched from Stellar Group to First Wave Sports.
First Wave Sports.
Yeah, First Wave Sports International.
And is that they're international? Is that based in? Do they have something based in the U.S. or?
They do. Yeah, they have a couple offices in the U.S. as well.
Nice. Nice. So And plus, you have an American passport, so it
Yeah,
wouldn't
yeah,
be that hard to maneuver as well. So
yeah.
that's nice.
Mhm.
It still gives me a shot that you have all three, bro. Like,
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
That's why I asked, because he said he was born in France. So I'm like, this
Yeah.
guy's over in the States. I'm like, what? You
Yeah, I
don't want
know.
to do
It's
his
kind of,
passport?
yeah, it's crazy, you know, like my dad is a senator in France. So it's kind of like, you know, France, Mali being colonized by France. So it's
No.
kind of like, yeah, you get that Malian passport. Plus he was born in Mali. So you get that Malian passport and, you know, coming into the US and also having a family that works in the Senate in France, you know, being the US and France being allies, that made it easier for me to get a US passport as well. So kind of it's a, you know, I've been pretty lucky, I'll say.
Yeah, it's good though. It's good. It's
Yeah.
very handy tools.
Mhm.
Just quickly go over things that changed once you signed your first pro contract.
Mhm. Honestly, my mentality, you know, my mentality's changed because now this is a job, you know, this is my job. Even though I have my business to the side, this is my job, this is my dream, this is what I've been working for my whole life, you know. Even though I took a break, you know, I still have a lot of growing to do. I feel like a lot of the kids my age in the pro world right now, they're a step above when it comes down to, you know, experience, you know, like, so I feel like my mentality has changed, the way I look at things, the way I talk, the way I approach things usually, you know, the way I train on my own, the way I play around with friends, the people that I hang out with. So I say my mentality, the way I look at life, you know, coming from Philly, you know, a lot of us grew up in a setting where, you know, you grew up around people that's in the streets, people that's in school. So it's kind of like it's a mixture of both. So, you know, signing that contract, you know, I had to sit down and do a lot of self-evaluation where I thought about, you know what, okay, cool, this is real. It just got real. So you definitely need to lock in a little bit more, you know, you gotta take these things a little serious. You know, you can being around the wrong person, being around the wrong people, even though there's a lot of love from, you know, my friends and back where I grew up and stuff like that, you know, being around the wrong people, you can lose everything you work hard for, you know. So, you know, especially playing in the USL is one of those things where your contract is 1 year. So after that 1 year, your contract is 1 year. No, a lot of people don't get 2-year deals, 3-year deals. You get a 1 year contract, and then after that you renew it. So it's kind of like one of those things where like you got to make the most out of your first year. You know, coming out of Philly, there's a lot of distractions. You know, especially city kid as well. So I had to sit down, do a lot of self-evaluation. You know, like, cool. You know, you love these people. These are your friends, but also, you know, you have a career now. You know, this is something that you work hard for. And 1 year, one bad move can literally change everything, can diminish everything that you work hard for. So I'll say signing that contract changed my mentality and the way I look at things, the way I think about things. And also, I'll say it changed the people around me as well, you know, the way people act towards you. And I feel like I'm one of those people, you know, I feel like I've grown. I was raised in a humble family, you know, even with a lot of stuff that my parents had. Um, Also, just seeing the way my uncle reacted, playing for Barcelona, that's probably one of the biggest clubs in the world. You know, he's never thrown it in anybody's face. So it's kind of like I've definitely, you know, I feel signed this contract, groomed me in more of a way that I wanted to be, you know, as a man, as a person, as a friend, and you know, just all of the other things. So my mentality has definitely changed for the better.
Nice. Jay, did you want to ask the next question?
Which one's the next one? Sure, yeah. Where'd you leave off?
The tips.
Oh yeah, okay. So what are 3 tips you can share to the viewers?
Bro. Ask Jay, ask someone again. That want to go pro, you gotta.
What are 3 tips you can share with the viewers that want to go pro?
Well, honestly, I'll say focus on the little things. You know, coming into the pro world, I like relied on my speed too much as a player. You know, I relied on my speed as a player too much. You know, focus on the little things. You know, you can spend a lot of kids. You know, even if you're spending 2 hours at the field training on your own, maximize those 2 hours. You don't need to spend 2 hours on the field. If you spend an hour of, you know, actually focusing on your little things, your technical ability will come. It's one of those things where, you know, when you get to that pro world, especially trials and stuff like that, coaches are going to look at you. You know, you can have the speed, you can have everything. You know, your technical ability will separate you from the rest. So I'll say maximize your training, maximize everything that you can do. You know, it's one of those things, soccer, going into the pro world is one of those things like this is going to be your job. If you're not doing it 7 days a week, if you're not doing it 5 days a week, actually working out, you know, putting in the time to build yourself as a pro, you're not going to get there. When you get there, it's going to be tough, you know? So I feel like growing up, and especially the last 2 years and stuff like that, hanging out with you guys and stuff like that, there's been times where it's kind of like, you know, even sitting there on the sideline supporting you guys, and I'm just like, damn, I want to be here, you know, I want to be there, you know. So it's kind of like, and training with you guys, you know, seeing you guys play, you know, JC, you getting awards, I'm just like, you know what, that pushed me as a player, you know, being friends with you guys, like, hey, like, I want to outdo him as a footballer. I want to do this and that, even though that's my guy and stuff like that. I need to get better than that, you know. At the end of the day, you know, he's a step above me. How can I build myself to go? And, you know, so I'll say going into that pro world, as a youth, you definitely need to separate yourself, build yourself to be a pro before you become a pro. I'll say that. So that comes with taking care of your body. You know, like the nutrition thing, a lot of people preach that. Personally, I don't take that into consideration at all, because I feel like I don't take that into consideration. So I'll say, you know, build yourself to be a pro before you become a pro. You know, that comes with, you know, your social media appearance, the way you treat others, the way you speak to others, you know, your image when it comes to your friends and family, you know, the way people can speak on you. Because and also build your connections. At the end of the day, I know players that are way more talented than I am, that I haven't gotten a professional contract just because they haven't gotten an opportunity. So I'll say build your connections, and also, you know, like I said, build yourself to be a pro before you become a pro. That's one thing that my uncle has told me for sure.
Nice, your uncle. I'd love to get your uncle on the podcast.
Hey man, listen, I could try to set that up.
That would be amazing, man.
I could definitely try to set that up for sure.
Sounds good. Leading here towards the end, if you could give us like a long story short, and then we'll dive into the 10 questions. What's your most memorable soccer moment?
Most memorable soccer moment was probably when I went to the game where Barcelona played Sevilla, and my uncle assisted Messi twice. Damn. Yeah, that was scene.
What's his name?
Seydou Keita. Yeah. So that was incredible. You know, stadium going crazy, you know, fans chanting his name, him running up and hugging Messi. I was just like, man, bro, this is crazy. And, you know, going into the locker room, seeing these players, you know, Xavi, Iniesta, Pedro, I'm just like, oh my God, this is crazy. I almost fainted, I can't lie, but that was definitely my most memorable moment for sure.
That's one you never forget, bro.
Yeah, that's one you will never forget. I'm literally getting chills talking about it right now. It's crazy. Yeah, it's insane, bro. Definitely, yeah.
It's crazy. Well, leading into the 10-point questions, you got to answer them fast, Mo.
Got you.
Favorite team?
Barca.
Favorite player?
Messi.
Favorite cleats?
Mercurials.
Favorite food?
Pizza.
Favorite artist musically?
Roddy Ricch.
Jay?
Messi or Ronaldo?
Messi.
The first team you pick in FIFA?
Barca.
2 goals in the game or 1 goal and 1 assist?
1 goal, 1 assist.
Would you rather score a free kick, banger, it's a banger, or a last-minute PK winner?
Free kick, banger.
And lastly, if you're a coach and you're able to sub in any player in the world, any player, any generation, like, you know, they got to win the game. Who you subbing in?
Seydou Keita.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Who's winning the Champions League? What's the finals?
City.
Oh, City. Yeah.
City, yeah.
City for sure. Yeah. City for sure.
Yeah, Mo, before we go, I just wanted to thank you for taking the time and joining us at One Soccer Nation. And I appreciate you hopping on the podcast with us today, bro.
Of course. Thank you guys for having me. Enjoyed it.